And now the the boulder in front of the village is too big, and our power slash isn't good enough to destroy it. I think if you do try to power slash at E soon, I believe he says it's too big. So we need to go find someone who can.
Tackle! Booyah. So. I love Susano.
In mythology, Susano was a brother to Amaterasu. And they were all born from Izanagi.
Mm-hmm. And his little joke there of go play with your monkey friends. So, like, I mean, the opening of this game...
I will say it is kind of slow, but I also... It being as slow as it is, I'm fine. Because, like, I'm fine when an opening is slow for tutorial reasons if the game's mechanics...
I've seen people get freaking stuck, and this is slow, and I think easily grasp. You know, easy to grasp. And
to be fair, I will acknowledge that, like, with all those dead trees and a few other things, there are things in the village that you are supposed to come back for, and there, like, isn't really 100% a hint on that you need later stuff for them.
I love this bullshit.
Like the game, basically, it being a bit slower here, okay, was for a tutorial standpoint.
This is
because the game, it is mostly, you know, based off of Zelda and its structure and stuff. The game's like individual.
Oh yeah.
The game's like individual mechanics.
I just remember what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
He's basically complaining about alcohol. She makes alcohol with a water well that was broken that I fixed. She was talking about making alcohol.
Like, you see, that's a thing, like, the funny thing...
Oh, yeah. Rice balls.
You mean jelly donuts.
Awesome, just eating her freaking rice. It's Kushi.
She was one of the names that was shortened. I can't remember what the full name was in mythology. She was the wife to Susano.
Kushikage, I think, is the name?
Kushikage Hime.
That was it. There we go.
I think. There's an SMT demon based off her, so I can go look that up later.
They also shortened a lot of the names because, as that one translator, English is a chunky language.
Well, that applied more in the Super Nintendo era. By the time we got the CDs and like DVDs and stuff, that wasn't as big of a problem. Like, the PS2 should have had enough storage space for things to not be super compromised.
Not as compromised as a fucking Super Nintendo cartridge, but English still eats up more disk space. So you still have to kind of balance, and now if you're following along, he was complaining about alcohol. Vista of the Gods. And now, in the training, you actually have to help him. But
and by that we mean perpetuate a fucking lie.
You say that, but, and I didn't show it? If I tried to cut that rock, it wouldn't work. If I should have showed that, because it does make a point of something. Together, we cut a rock I can't cut. He's not that weak.
Or is he? This man is also using a wooden sword.
Exploding implosion.
That's a paradox.
It's not complete bullshit. I couldn't cut that alone. He's confused though.
See, he's confused, so... Even he thinks it's bullshit.
You go, Susano. Okay. Well, I know, like, I'll have to double check some stray beads, because a few are oddly specific. I will get common, easy ones I remember, but because we have to backtrack a lot anyway.
Yeah, but not or missable.
What?
But not or missable, so that's what's important.
And you have to backtrack so much anyway, I might as well not even bother half the time, not because I inherently can't get it, but because...
Also, another funny thing, I believe it's Valkyrie. I think that's the name for cherry blossom trees, and also they symbolize life and death in nature, so that's why, you know, she's a nature spirit. And who says video games can't teach you things? Like, I actually do genuinely just know random words of Japanese because of games like this or anime. Like that kid you pulled up the turnips for, I think his name was Mushi, which basically means insect. Because in One Piece, they were called transponder snails in the English. In the Japanese, I believe they're called Denden Mushi, which basically means, like, electric insect or something. Because apparently in Japan, snails are considered insects. And who says video games can't educate you? Ha.
So, this is a setup for the majority. Evil has taken over. The Guardian saplings that help ward evil are dying. So, if this continues, I will wilt away. So, the Guardian saplings are now a major point of, we need to, you know, go let nature not kick the bucket here.
Yes.
Because this is a, like, nature restoration game. You are a...
It's almost like you're the goddess of the sun or something. Because it was the whole about, you know, the localization and stuff, and now a few names were shortened for, like, simplicity. It's like, that just makes me think of the first Danganronpa when it was, like, localized in America. They thought the title of Danganronpa and, like, the series might be a bit too anime, so they actually put the title Trigger Happy Havoc. That was actually...
It's Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa.
Yes. And they did the same thing of, like, most of the characters were given a kind of shorter nickname thing to make it easier to remember. I find it funny because you then look at the second game and it's like, at this point they, know there are a bunch of weeaboo neckbeards that will buy this shit. And they'll bitch when it's, like, not uncompromised, even though you people don't understand how
so now
works.
The shop.
Yeah.
Do some shopping. Sell, like
I said,
you can sell your
you can sell the consumable items, but you can also sell the treasures, like I
and
said.
These are just worth.
There is a set amount of them in the game, but they are purely there to be sold. They serve no other reason than filling out the collection.
Feedbags are... Feedbags?
Feedbags are self-explanatory. Vengeance and...
This is... Pay for the Holy Incarnation slightly damages. That's a bomb. That's temporary increased attack, temporary increased defense.
So, like... 3
units of solar energy, and you get...
Some of... you want to buy at least one of every feedback. For now.
And then that... Temporary deflects enemy attacks. That's this weird, it's a counter item. Like, the way this works, and it's hard to...
What, you just equip it and you basically just counter-attack things?
Kind of, yes.
It's just a Royal Guard as an item, and that leads to what I was going to say. The setup of a bunch of this shit of, like, healing items, strength boost, invincibility, the setup of that might seem kind of familiar, and that's because the team at Capcom that made this game was Clover Studios, which would then, basically, after Clover ended up defunct, go on to form Platinum Games, and because of that, as shown at the beginning, the director of this game was Kamiya, which would go on to, then direct the Bayonetta and Wonderful 101.
In case you missed it, you see the evil, like, that is area you are forbidden from entering.
If you enter that, your life starts draining.
You're going to die. These things are enemy encounters.
Yes.
The slips are enemy encounters.
Their color, I believe, I think the color and fire around it denoted what enemies it is and, how strong they were.
But there is something I wanted to show.
I think. But you can also only do that to, because that...
No, that doesn't get rid of it. Yeah, this isn't an enemy.
Yeah,
it's a battle.
Power slashing, it stuns it, but, as you can see, it's just green imps. Right now, I believe the game has, enemy battles against enemies that are considered weak to you are the ones you can stun. I think as you get later in the game...
I never stun, anyway.
Around the end of the game...
We already made,
Around the end of the game, when I was basically maxed out on shit and I didn't need standard money or demon things, I just started stunning them to ignore and run past it. Because that is another thing when, you get basically near a slip. Now, again, this is something that ties into, how strong the enemy group is, but basically they'll start chasing you. If you get near them and haven't attacked you, they will start chasing you to try and engage a battle.
Now, you've probably noticed that I've made this very consistent habit of not fighting enemies with maximizing my damage to get, demon fangs and shit.
Because you will want to do that early on.
Hmm?
And let's go back. Oh, yeah, I have to explain it. Things before it was. What I was going to explain about the items. As you can see right there in that corner, it looks like there's a kind of rip or tear. I believe if you attack one of those spots and power slash them enough, a hole will...
You can run
A hole will open, and this will allow you to run from battles.
Yeah, you can attack those little tears and shit, but... Okay.
I don't believe running from battles has any negative effects.
It's not really a negative, but I think you keep your, if I were to run, I think I would keep my, health. So if I was running at, one solar unit, I would be...
Yeah. Quickly explain through the mechanics that you can see in the corner there's that, wolf icon in the green and circle that's your godhood. Basically, as you essentially deal damage without getting hit.
Not damage. Not...
I thought it was damage.
No.
What is it?
It's convo.
Oh.
Which leads to the best way to get godhood.
Yeah, basically, as you essentially...
Which we don't have at the moment.
Well, it's not damage, they're still technically dealing damage. Like, as you get combos without getting hit, the godhood fills. When the godhood gets to the green like that, it's maxed out. What that does is that gives you a free hit. It's 3 levels. The green is the highest. I think red was the lowest, and then yellow is the one in the middle. It basically... Because that's maxed out, it's just 3 additional hits.
No! It is 1 additional hit.
Oh.
Technically. You have a free, just invincible hit. But it's a stage thing to keep it from being technically overpowered. And instead of immediately moving on, I'm going around unlocking shit. Because a lot of this game...
We can get past a few of these as we
A
get...
good opener in a lot of cases, like, that forced them into the block mode.
And then you can break their weapon.
What?
And then, because they were forced into the block, you can break both of their weapons.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because, you know, this was directed by Okami, and a lot of people that worked on, like, Devil May Cry and stuff made this, the items and whatnot all basically work like items in Devil May Cry, being the prayer slips are basically like the holy water weapon, but instead of it being 1, they're incremental, doing more damage as it goes on, and then you have your standard strength increase and invincibility items.
So at the...
And later in the game, I believe you can also buy an item that gives you temporary infinite ink.
So, at the moment... And I think I do have to clear out the area a little bit. There's a stray bee that appears up here. But it looks like it's not going to be here until the area is clear, so...
Yes,
What? Into the void.
Cool.
That's fine. We have to do tons of backtracking anyway. I'm just trying to not miss out on certain other...
Hana is the Japanese word for flower. Like I said, I will keep doing that.
This is a game that I feel is really good, but the opening is just so awkward and stupid half the time.
Oh, okay, this part of the opening isn't that bad or really like...
Oh yeah, Traveler's Charm, Godhood.
Also just automatically increases Godhood.
Well, 1 level. Yeah.
Like, this part of the opening isn't that bad. It's... When you get... Like, the funny thing is, due to the, the whole thing of, like, you know, all that evil basically preventing you from going into certain parts of the overworld, due to that, I feel this part of the opening isn't that bad, because that actually serves as a good boundary to kind of gate and...
Oh yeah, I wanted to show that. If you run out of ink...
You lose your...
But there was an interesting little trade-off that happened.
When you run out of ink, you lose the celestial weapon and the ability to use the brush techniques, but you can still attack.
You missed the more important thing that I wanted to show off.
Which is...
I got 3 ink pots restored for having no ink.
Oh yeah.
You get... Running out of ink, you're weaker for a minute, but then you get 3 ink pots.
But that's because it takes the entirety of how many ink pots, however many you have, it takes that much to refill.
The fact that you go back to the basic 3, that means there are scenarios, and this is a really good, you know, point to bring up. There are scenarios where you could run out of basic,
What the hell are you doing?
Just double checking some of it. There are some stray beads that
You can't get the stray beads in this area yet.
That's my point.
You need, like, the power you are basically...
No, there is a stray bead you can dig up.
Hmm.
I just forget if you can dig it up now or if I have to wait until the valley's clear, and I think I have to wait until the valley's clear.
Yes, you have to wait until the valley's cleared.
Fine. But basically, the reason I decided to show off... Oh, yeah, and then, like, this dead...
As you can see, it's dead. You can't do anything with it.
It's, like, super dead. This entire area is freaking cursed at the moment.
It's, like, literally actually cursed.
So... But this goes to the thing I was trying to say. Running out of ink and then getting 3 ink pots back is a net gain that is often not a bad trade-off.
New enemy type, the yellow imp. I believe they are the first enemy where Power Slash is not the floral finisher. Oh, it did go down 1 level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
mind.
it is 3 hits.
Never mind. Yeah.
You can't. When they go underground, you can't do anything.
That's not 100% true, Carson. And I believe Power Slash is still the weakness.
Oh, it was.
So, yeah, so actually the Godhood was multiple free hits. Never mind, I thought it was...
No.
The thing about them going underground and not being kittable is technically not true. But that requires a power that I figured out later can hit them underground, and it's hilarious.
And it's a power we don't have.
So, that's fine. And yeah, she has a butthole.
Well, remember, there is a reason for that.
This model has a butthole on it.
Yeah, and Tails had a butthole pixel in... It's the Sonic Advance 3 opening, right?
I think.
Sega, why did you do that? But then again, this is the company that originally was going to call Knuckles Dreads. And is the one symbol on his chest, like that being the Nike symbol, was that ever actually confirmed?
Here comes the sun.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Kamiya really wanted to make a Zelda game.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if that's not a fucking copyright avoiding Zelda puzzle solving tune, I don't know what is. Also, that water is kind of toxic at the moment. So.
Yeah, you're right. I see all those hateful Byleth comments right there. That's some real nasty stuff.
You can't do anything in this room, you have to move on. That's a gate.
Just go for it.
Let's get it on.
It's funny because Clover.
Mini save point is a small save point. The bigger save points with the swirl on it have a different use. That save point can't do that, but it does have unlimited saving. So, like, the all save points in the game save you, but the bigger ones had a different use.
We'll get to it later.
I'm just explaining mechanics. Because there
mechanics that will not matter until many hours later.
Doesn't mean it's not a good thing to point out that the little save points are just as good save-wise, but lack that other little...
Though, the funny thing is, because I'm gonna cross the save point, I can bring it up again.
Exploding implosion.
Goddamn, this bear is the strongest thing so far if they were able to survive that.
He absorbed it into his blubbery fat. He's fat gum.
No, it's like the one character from Super that looks like Winnie the Pooh, which I swear was intentional on Toriyama's part. Wasn't it stated, like, he absorbed, like, the kinetic energy from the punches and sent them to, like, another dimension or something? You know what I'm talking about.
The dude, it's yellow bear!
And he is wearing a red
shirt with no pants.
And he is fat. I swear he is supposed to look like Winnie the Pooh.
Which reminds me of something. Winnie the Pooh's origins, he's just a yellow bear. He's naked. He's not wearing a shirt.
Oh, of course, he's a bear.
Oh yeah, the worst mechanic in this game. Oh, physics. So, you can roll it, you can hit it, you can power slash, and that
doesn't do anything.
Like, I can push it, and it rolls. And, you know, I can do that, and it rolls. And if you notice, it does just kind of slide around, but the reason the ball physics are one of the worst mechanics in this game, they're not exactly
the best.
But a lot of people don't realize that because you can just kind of push on the ball, that if you get, like... And here's kind of a good example.
That's why, and, like, this could...
See?
This could be... This could be a thing that happens later, I think. So... Getting fine. A weird thing I remember was the ball pushing, and I don't remember how to do it. I swear I remember a button to where if you press it, Amaterasu will actually stand on her hind legs and start, like, pushing it with her front paws.
No.
I don't know why I remember that.
That's not a mechanic.
I know, but I remember doing it, and that's what's weird, unless the game glitched and did that animation one time, but I don't know why it would. Or there is a moment where that happens, but again, it's just an animation difference.
No, you can't. I wish. You can't. Physics! So with the power of the sun, we're going to solar beam this tree.
Would Amaterasu be a grass fire type? Probably.
They've yet to make a grass fire.
Yeah, and I'm still pissed.
We have a water fire type.
And we have a grass water. We need to complete the trifecta.
Not that anyone remembers the water fire type.
Which is a shame, because combining any of the three starting types is so damn good. That's why I love Ludicolo so much.
That jaunty fox.
Yes. And they are amazing in the rain.
Yes.
The first one you put might be a bit... Oh, no.
No.
It can be picky sometimes.
That's why I saw someone get stuck.
I will acknowledge this.
That's why I was trying to...
Though, if you do fuck it up enough, the game shows you outlines of where you're supposed to put them.
Even with the outlines, you can still miss.
Yeah.
I love this game. I've played this game. But, like I was saying, there's some jank in this game. My god, is there some jank in this game. And that jank ruins parts of this game.
And while there are 13 guides, like, not counting some optional stuff, later there is more than 13 brush techniques. The reason for it is that basically, like, the technique we just got is part of a family of techniques associated with these two other ones.
Big exaggerated circle. Always connect your ends, folks.
Yes.
It's time for the question of the day, my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, this is a really silly question, but how long did it take you to notice that Amaterasu has a little ink dot butthole on her model? Because a lot of people don't notice that immediately, and once they see it, they never really unsee it. But I would love to know how long it took you to personally notice that, because most people don't notice it immediately. That question was really silly, but I thought I would ask because we brought it up. Anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links, as well as my Discord link, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute if you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you all next time, so good night, everybody.